Hello, it is noon Eastern time here on Friday, April 1st. April Fools, why diets do work. No, I'm totally kidding. Why diets don't work and what actually does. That's what I'm going to be talking about today. Let me know if you're with me live. Say, hey, Kristen, what's up? If you're joining me live, give me a hashtag replay if you're watching the replay. I want to know who's here with me today. April 1st, like I said. April Fools, I would never do a talk on why diets work. That's like insane. Totally not true. But yeah, let me see who's here with me, guys. I know a few of you said you're going to be watching the live. Those of you who worked out with me this morning, you're probably like, wait, you're still wearing the same exact outfit that you wore this morning? Yes. Work from home life. Hashtag work from home. Like sometimes you just like don't have time to shower. That's been me this morning. I got my workout in, got my meet in with my dog. You saw my Instagram story. And then I had a call with a new client, Shannon, that just signed up for the 16-week program. Super excited to welcome her to the CMW family. And then now I'm right here in my living room, exactly where I teach my workout classes. About to talk to you about why diets don't work and what actually does. All right. And before I go into this topic, I want to say thank you and I want to give you guys some love. I got a lot of great comments about my injuries, and I posted a little bit about my fall last week when I was running and how I've been like covering up my body. That's why I have this thing around my wrist. And so thank you for the sweet comment, you guys. I haven't had a chance to go through them all yet. It's been a crazy week. But I just want to thank you for your support and just know that to me that was very much a teachable moment. And you know, so many people I've worked with, you know, they get injured and they feel really bad about themselves and they tend to, you know, fall through the cracks and fall off the wagon, I should say. And I want you guys to know that for every setback there's a comeback, right? And like, you know, I'm working through this injury and doing what I can, and I want to inspire you guys that no matter what happens in life, you can always move forward. Every day is day one. Comment in the chat, every day is day one. Every day is a new opportunity to move forward and be a better you and not harp on what happened yesterday or 5 seconds ago. Like the day I fell, I was like, oh man, this is gonna, you know, ruin me. No, I was like, I have to be at dinner in an hour. What outfit can I wear that will allow me to get out, right? Focus on what I can do, not what I can't do. Okay, anyway, now I want to talk about this topic, why diets don't work, because I saw so many amazing people comment about why they don't think diets work for them, right? You know, they're too restrictive, they're too hard, you can't live your life, like all these things, right? And then everyone tends to agree, you know, we need to do things in moderation, right? But the truth is, like, moderation's hard too, right? That doesn't work for everybody. What is moderation? What constitutes balance? What is balance to one person might be different for another person, right? Balance is easy for some people and then it's hard for others. Comment if that's you. Is balance hard for you? Have you tried moderation and it's challenging? Or maybe you've done moderation and it works for you. And I will say in CMW, we teach moderation. We have a specific strategy for that. But what I want to talk about today, first of all, I'm going to discuss the top 3 reasons why diets don't work. And some of these things will be familiar. And then other things, you know, might be a little awakening to you, right? And then I'll finally, of course, go into the top 3 things that do work, okay, for you to be successful long term. All right, so you're going to want to take notes. You're going to want to ask questions. You're going to want to pay freaking attention because it is a new month. It is a new opportunity. And your health journey and your goals are not a joke. It's April Fool's Day, I know. But your goals, guys, and your life are serious. And you're worth it. And it's worth everything we're about to talk about today. Are you guys ready to rock and roll? Who's here with me live? Let me see. Hey there, Ashani, what's up? They are the worst. Oh my God. And you guys, like, comment in the chat here with diets you've tried. I'm just curious. Like, what are some diets you guys have done that are the absolute worst and terrible, as Ashani's saying here right now? And guys, like, I want to be really transparent with you. I personally, and those of you who've worked with me and you've heard me talk about this before, like, I've done every diet under the sun, right? You know, my body has fluctuated 15, 20 pounds over the years, you know, and a lot of people might look at me as a fitness professional and in the health coaching space and be like, oh, like, this is so easy for you. Like, you don't have to try to, like, maintain your weight or, like, be skinny or whatever. Girlfriends, guy friends, whoever's watching me, I have to work just as hard as every other person. right? And this is my life. This is not like a one and done kind of thing. Okay, so don't ever assume what someone goes through, right? I want to share that too. But yeah, I've done every diet. I've cut out carbs, I've cut out alcohol, I've cut out dairy, I've cut out every freaking food group. Even no, not vegetables. I've never done that. But I've been vegan. And I've done everything. I've done protein shakes. I've done cleanses. I've done calorie counting. I've done pretty much everything you guys have probably done. But what I found is probably what you're all finding is they don't work for these 3 reasons, okay? Number 1, you're cutting out entire food groups, okay? And one of the best things I've ever heard, one of my colleagues who's a dietitian once said that the best diets have the most variety in them, right? And Sheila actually commented here in the group the other day about that, and I couldn't agree more. So, when we are cutting out entire food groups, whether you're cutting out fat, you're cutting out carbs, both for some people completely, not only are you depriving yourself nutritionally, but it's going to impact your hormone function, your brain function, your metabolism, oh my God, your energy. Oh my God, my friend Shelby, I'll never forget, she was saying like when her fiance like cuts carbs, like it ruins the relationship. Comment in the chat if that's you. Like you guys, like if you have a significant other and like they're like cutting out, food groups, like you guys get in fights more often, or like just like your energy. I know like when I cut carbs and things, like I cut coffee one. I think that was the worst thing for me because I just like love my espresso so much. I'm Italian. So anyone else like this coffee? And I'm not like a coffee fiend. I don't drink it all day long. I don't recommend that either. But like I really look forward to my morning cup of coffee. It was on my Instagram story this morning. I'm like, I really love this espresso right now. I'm so excited for it. So that was probably the hardest thing for me to give up, just because like I thoroughly enjoy it. But anyway, so you have to cut out certain food groups, and that's really difficult, especially if you want to, eat out. If you're going to a birthday party and like you can only eat vegetables and protein, and then there's none of that there. It's just pizza and French fries, and you're like, well, great, this sucks. My diet's ruined. This is why diets don't work, because they don't work in every situation. That's the reason why diets don't work. They don't work in every situation. So for you to be successful long term, you need something you can do in every situation, every single time. And that's why in CMW, we have our CMW nutritional protocol. It's designed to work in every situation, every single time. I don't care if you're home making breakfast or you're out at IHOP. I don't care if you're home making dinner or you're going to Panera, right? It works in every situation, every single time. Okay, you're on vacation, you're at the movies, you're in the mall, you're on the airplane. It works all the time. All right, so number 1 reason why diets don't work, because you're cutting out entire food groups. It's draining your energy, your motivation, your happiness. It's stealing your joy, right? Terrible. Number 2, you're having to count. Oh my God. Anyone here a former like Weight Watchers person or calorie counter? Maybe you counted macros. Oh, that's the worst. Anyone here do that before? I know I've done all those things. I'm sure a lot of you guys have as well. But counting is exhausting. Holy cow. And like those of you who work out with me, sometimes I'm like, oh guys, we're gonna do 15 reps. Maybe it's 17, okay. But counting is not fun. It's not sustainable. And those of us who, for example, like to travel, go out to eat, if you're trying to count calories and count macros, forget it. It is impossible to do those things and accurately count macros and calories, or both, right? Because you can guesstimate, but it's not accurate usually, right? And even if you're inputting your data into MyFitnessPal, there's a 20 to 30% error rate. And you might put in 1 glass of Sauvignon Blanc, 5 ounces, but your glass is actually 8 ounces. Did you even know? And some people measure, right? But they still don't see the results they're looking for. The needle's not moving, right? And then we just give up on counting, right? We give up because it's just, again, not sustainable, not real life. And that leads me to my 3rd point here, okay? Why diets don't work. And I think we all can resonate with this because of life, okay? We want to go out with our friends, at least I do. We want to have pizza night with our family. We want to go to birthday parties. We want to go to weddings and enjoy wedding cake. I do. I love wedding cake. It's my favorite part of the wedding. And of course the bride going down the aisle, fine, but I also like wedding cake. You know, we want to not feel deprived. We want to feel like we are allowed to go to Philly and get a Philly cheesesteak. You know, or we want to feel like we can go to Italy and eat pasta, or go to your favorite restaurant and order their homemade specialty dish, whatever the heck it is. You want to have a few cocktails with your friends. You want to go to brunch. And yeah, and you want to be able to eat with your spouse and eat with your family and not feel like you have to eat something completely different, right? You want to feel like you're aligned with other people in your life, right? Comment if that's you. Hashtag that's me. I want to live my life. Write that in the comments here, guys. I want to live my life. I want to have food freedom. And that, my friends, is why Create My Weight was born. That is why I built this business years ago, because I'm with you, okay? I have done every diet. My clients have done every diet. And we're sick and tired of the diet culture. Hashtag over it. I'm over dieting. I'm over counting. I'm over obsessing. I'm over worrying. I'm over being afraid of failure. And that's why diets don't work, because at the end of the day, subconsciously, we're all afraid of them not working long term. So yeah, I did the Whole30 and I lost 10 pounds. I'm making this up. I've never done a Whole30. But let's say I did it. But like in the back of my head, and I know some of you have resonated with this, in the back of my head, I'm like, I don't know if I can, what's next, right? Nora, are you watching the replay here? When she did the Whole30, right, she did it once, it worked. Then she tried it again, didn't really work. And then you tried it again, Nora, right? And it didn't work. And now you know it works because you learned food freedom. Whole30 is the opposite of food freedom, right? When there's a number, I want to say this very, very bluntly. If there is a number attached to the end of a diet, it is definitely not going to work long term, right? For example, the 75 hard. All right, this is like it's not a diet, I shouldn't call it that, but it's a challenge going on right now. I'm not against the 75 hard. I think there's some really awesome principles to it. However, it's called the 75 hard. So first of all, it's already being classified as hard. So like, again, I already question how sustainable is this. And then number two, 75? That's a long freaking time. And then you're like, you know, oh my God, like crawling to the 75-day mark. And then day 76, you're like, I want to go have a party. I want to go like on a cruise, all you can eat, and just lay around. It's just all or nothing, right? So that stuff typically long-term doesn't work. Now, are there some people that generate really good habits from doing the Whole30, 75 hard, or maybe the 21-day fix, Noom, I don't know, whatever diet you're commenting here in the chat? Are you going to learn some things from these diets? Absolutely. So is it fair to say that none of these things work at all? Maybe not. And I want to be fair. I want to play devil's advocate here because, again, I'm all about providing the information, and I do this with my clients as well. I provide the information, and then you get to choose what works for you, right? So, like, you know, you could learn some things, but at the end of the day, it's usually not the full package. Right? It's not like your lifestyle. Comment in the chat if what you're looking for is a lifestyle, right? Hashtag lifestyle. And I also feel like that phrase, or that word rather, lifestyle is so ambiguous, right? What do you mean by lifestyle, right? Like that could be like shopping. It could be like travel, right? What I mean by lifestyle in this context is your ability to eat and move in a way that serves your goals, that's not so laborious. It's not so stress-free. It's sustainable and stress-free. Those are the two key things you need to look for in whatever plan you have. That's the two criteria, stress-free and sustainable. And I want to be very clear about something. Anytime you're learning something new, okay, you're trying a new plan, even if it is stress-free and sustainable. So for example, the CMW protocol, it's a protocol. There is structure, there is regimen, there are guidelines, and yes, there's a learning curve, right? So in the beginning, it might feel like work because you're learning. You're learning a whole new way of eating and thinking about food. One of my clients, Claire, just texted me earlier and she's like, wow, like, and she thought she was a super healthy eater when we had our first consult call. She's like, I eat really healthy. I don't even know if I want to change my way of eating. You know, she's been through all kinds of nutrition coaching, but she was like, it's not working for me anymore. I need to do something different. And so now she's learning the new protocol and her eyes are like, holy moly, I didn't even know what I was doing. So yeah, that can be scary. And then you're gonna feel like, okay, there's a learning curve. I wanna tell you guys something. There's a difference between a learning curve and something completely ridiculous and not sustainable. Right? Am I right about that? A learning curve is completely worth it. Something that's unsustainable is a waste of your time. I'm just saying. I don't sugarcoat anything. My CMW people, right? I don't sugarcoat anything. It is what it is. Okay, so I don't want to keep you in suspense too long. It's about 15 minutes since I've been talking. What actually does work? Let's get down to it. You guys ready for it? Let me see your comments. Let me see your comments. Learning curves are normal. Yes. I'm a teacher. I'm all about learning curves. You know that, right? Okay. So, number one, what actually works, guys, in order for you to be successful long-term, right? And get those goals and actually keep them. Number one is honesty. Just being really honest. So I had a call with a new client today. And you know, she had been struggling for a really long time. She's literally done every diet under the sun. And she said, you know, when the pandemic hit, what I really noticed was that my emotions played a massive role in my eating, right? So she admitted that, you know, she has become an emotional eater, that she eats when she's stressed. She owns a business and she works crazy hours. Especially the pandemic took a toll on it, and so like that affected her eating habits. She's like, and honestly, I don't like a lot of healthy foods. I'm a really picky eater, super picky eater, and you know, I don't exercise. I don't make the time for it, right? But she's like, I have the time, I just don't make it, right? Because my days are so intense that I don't have the bandwidth to think about exercise or think about cooking. She doesn't like cooking, right? Does not like it because, again, she has to think too much. Comment if this is you. Does any of this sound like you right now? Because I know it sounds like me sometimes. I don't have the bandwidth to think about cooking. Grocery shopping, I'm not in the mood. Although I do love doing grocery trips. A lot of my clients know that. But like sometimes I'm like, I don't feel like going to the grocery store. I don't feel like getting out pots and pans. Too tired. I worked 12 hours today. Like I completely, especially as a business owner, I get it. I feel you. I haven't even showered today. It's noon. Oh my God. I'm not even showered. And you know what? I was almost a little embarrassed about coming on here live, but I was like, you know what? This is me. Live and in the flesh. I'm very transparent. I don't sugarcoat anything, guys. Anyway, so number one thing that does work is honesty. And so when people tell me, like, Kristen, I'm eating super healthy, I'm exercising, I'm doing all the right things, but like I just don't know why I'm not losing weight. I don't know why. And then I'm like, okay, well, let's get honest. Let's get curious. Key said, my other coach, we always talk about getting curious, right? Let's be honest. What does our eating actually look like? Can you tell me what you eat in a day? Are you really eating only what you tell me you're eating? Like, if you're only eating salmon and asparagus and a protein shake and like an egg white omelet for breakfast and you're not losing weight, there's something going on. There's something going on behind the scenes, or you're eating more than that. Or what are you putting in those foods? Or are you getting those foods out to eat and there's other things in there you might not know about? Oh yeah, well, you know, I have salmon and asparagus, but then I'm also snacking on my kids' you know, lunches, or like they come home and have snacks and I eat with them too, or I eat off my husband's plate, or I nibble on this, I walk back and forth between the pantry and the kitchen between work meetings and I'm eating this, or like my coffee, it's not black coffee, it's actually like full of like creamer and sugar, so I'm marking it as 5 calories, but it's 200 calories. And then we go into the counting shenanigans, and that sucks. It's not a fun place to be. Or, oh my God, yeah, I'm moving around constantly. Like, I feel like I'm always out of my desk. I'm always walking. But then I'm like, okay, well, do you wear a fitness watch? How many steps are you getting? Like 5,000 a day. You're not moving that much. I hate to break it to you. Right? So getting honest. Right? Oh yeah, like I'm really good about my portions. No, no, you're not. No. What really works, guys, is being honest. And another example of not being honest is when we tell ourselves, I know what to do, I'm just not doing it. And I know exactly what I have to do, I'm capable of doing it, and I'm just gonna do it. Right? And some people that have a strategy that's worked for them long term, they can get away with it. But other people don't know what to do. They think they do. They think, or their friend is doing something, so like, oh, I'll just do what she's doing, and that'll work for me. Honestly, will it? That works for Susie, but what about for you? Right? She likes eating chicken and broccoli all the time. Some people are like that. They're not foodies, right? They can eat the same thing over and over again. But if you want variety, is that really going to work for you? If you're vegan, that's not going to work for you, right? So getting honest with yourself, guys. If you are an emotional eater, if you have this all or nothing mindset, if you know you self-sabotage, you got to be honest about it and say, you know what? I think the reason why I'm not losing weight, the reason why I'm not successful, the reason why these diets don't work is because I'm getting in my own way. I'm making sexy excuses. I'm not making the time. I'm always sleeping through my alarm when I know I should be getting up in the morning. I'm staying up way too late. I'm not tuning into my hunger. I'm not drinking enough water. I know I'm not doing a lot of things I should be doing. Comment if that's you. And be honest. Drop a comment here. What are you not doing? Or what are you doing too much of? Be honest. I'll give you an example. Those of you who know me, you know I'm like super social, right? I go out with my friends a lot. It's a great time of the year here in South Florida. And yeah, sometimes like I only have one drink or zero. My friends know that I'm very much about like not restricting, but like I can very keep much under control. And some days I'm like, I have a few more drinks than I need. I'm just saying, right? I'm just saying right there. And again, that's me. And some people are like, oh yeah, I don't drink that much. No, I have a few glasses a week. What's a few? Okay. Okay, so number one's honesty. Why, what does work? So in terms of what works, like getting honest with yourself is what works. And saying, okay, this is where I'm falling short. Okay, this is where I'm not meeting the mark, and this is what I need to improve. I need to improve my emotional eating. I need to improve my relationship with food. That's what I have to do. And those of you who've heard me talk before, I was a sugar addict, right? I was a gummy bear girl. I was a Monster Trail Mix girl, cookie dough girl, diet soda. Oh my God. I used to drink Diet Mountain Dew to get me through teaching when I didn't drink coffee. I was like in my 20s. Terrible. Oh, I can't believe I drank that. But anyway, yeah, and finally I was like, I think that was a big wake-up call for me. That's why no diets works. I had a sugar addiction. And once I got clear and honest about that and worked on that, that's actually what motivated me to create my weight, was to include an emotional eating component, because I've been through it. Right? So I feel you. When those cravings are so severe that nothing on this planet will make you happier than eating that cookie or having that cocktail or whatever it is. Okay? So, number one is being honest. That works. All right? Number two is a commitment. That's what works. Because if you're ever on the fence about something, if you're ever on the fence about your goal, number one, number two, the way you're doing it, you're never going to be successful. So you need a 100% commitment, right? Let's talk about your goals first. Okay, so this is really important, because someone can tell me, I want to lose 20 pounds, right? I want to lose 20 pounds. I want to have more energy. I want to look better in my clothes. I want to look fit. And I'll say, okay, great. Why is it so important to you? Why do you need to lose 20 pounds? And they'll say, well, you know what, like my knees hurt, and if I lose this weight, I know I'll feel better. Like in my walking, I can work out more easily, and I'll just be able to do more active things with my family. I want to go hiking. I want to run around with my grandkids. And so I need to lose 20 pounds. Awesome. I love that. I love aligning a goal with a really good why, right? Not to say that like looking good in a bathing suit's a bad why. It's not bad. It's just sometimes not enough, So I want to point that out there. So, anyway, a commitment to that goal, right? So when we have a really strong why, typically our commitment is going to be much stronger, right? And I like to ask this question to my clients, like, well, what's going to happen if you don't lose these 20 pounds? What's going to happen if you don't do these workouts? What's going to happen if you don't get to where you want to be? What's going to happen? And then we get a little deep, right? Because again, I can help you, right? I can help. My team, CMW, we can create the space, right? That's our job as coaches. We create the space, and we provide you with the education and the guidance. But it's up to you to create the results. And that's what Create My Weight is all about. I can't create your weight for you. Danielle can't. Kisa can't. Abby can't. Pip can't. My team can't. It's on you. Right? All right. So commitment, 100% I am in. It is not a non-negotiable for me to reach my goals here. Right? So not only am I committed to the goals, but I'm 1,000% committed to the process. How I get there. I'm 1,000%, I'm saying 1,000, not 100. I'm saying 1,000. I'm 1,000% committed to this journey, because if I don't commit, if I'm wavering, I'm never gonna get there. And I'm gonna say something, I'm gonna be brutally honest with you guys, that's the biggest problem. So many people do not commit. And of course, they don't wanna commit to something unsustainable. I get it, I don't either. That's not even a real commitment, in my opinion, or a valid one, a helpful one. But a learning curve, right? Learning something new, knowing that it's a sustainable process. Sometimes we struggle with commitment. Some people just have commitment issues in all parts of their life, right? Let's be serious. But I feel like there are times when people just really, they're not willing to make any changes in their life. They're not willing to budge. They're not willing to learn new things. They're not willing to try new foods. They're not willing to make time for things that matter. That will always hold you back. Always. I don't care who you work with. You can work with a magician to lose weight. And if you're not committed to do those things, you're not going to get results. So what does work, guys, again, this is what this is all about, is a true commitment that no matter what, I am going to make the time. I'm going to invest my time, my energy, money if needed, to be successful, and I'm not going to accept no for an answer. I will get what I want. I am getting what I want. None of this, I'm gonna try. I hope this will work. Let's see what happens. I'm planning on it working. I'm planning on losing this weight. I'm gonna try to lose this weight once and for all. Get that BS language out of your vocabulary. Today is April 1st. Stop talking like that. I don't want to hear it. And if you've coached with me before, you know I don't like those words. I don't like try. I don't like maybe, hopefully, kind of. What is this? Right? Do you tell your kids that? Maybe I'll pick you up from soccer practice. I don't know. We'll see. I'll plan on it, but if I don't come, I don't come. Walk home. Do you say that to your kids? Some of you might. I should be nice here, but most likely not. Right? My mom never said that to me. She would say, I'm gonna pick you up or get a ride home. But none of this middle ground nonsense, right? You are committed or you are not. Half-ass effort equals half-ass results. Bottom line. and I'm sorry if I'm being a little harsh. Those of you who know me as the sweet old Kristen, I've got a tough side. And this is why I do what I do. And this is why CMW clients get the results that they do. Because you have to hear this, right? So what does work? Honesty. I'm being brutally honest with you right now. Honesty, commitment, and number 3, guys, accountability. All right? One of my favorite quotes, because I was an educator for a long time, I'm still an educator, but just teaching different things now. Education without accountability is useless. Right? So someone can tell you what to do, right? And you can learn all this information. Comment below if you're a researcher. I meet so many researchers, oh my goodness. Like people that Google all the things, or like read all these articles, read all these books about diets, right? F factor diet, fast metabolism diet, I don't even know. Cabbage soup diet, there's a million, right? They read all these books, longevity diet. I'm actually a big fan of Walter Longo, love him. Plant Paradox, whatever. You read all these books. But then, like, you don't follow through. You struggle with the follow through. Comment if that's you. Let's say you're honest. Yeah, I struggle with my emotional eating. I don't plan ahead. I don't cook. I'm honest with myself. I snack like a crazy person. Like, you're honest, right? You're committed. I really want to lose this weight. It is a non-negotiable for me. My life will be so much better if I do it, right? So let's say you got those 2 things, right, that do work, but you're not accountable. You're not following through. That's an issue. Because you can have these 2 and not the 3rd and you're screwed. So, what does accountability look like? Because I feel like we hear this word accountability and it sounds scary and kind of crappy, to be honest. Like, oh, I don't want to be held accountable. It's like, I do, but I don't. I'm sure some of my CMW clients feel the same way. Like, I love how I'm being held accountable in multiple ways, but like, sometimes I don't want to hear it. I get it. You know, it's like your mom calling you, your dad calling you, your kids sometimes calling you out on things. Mom, you said you were going to do this and you didn't. I'm like, oh, crap. And I'm a dog mom, so my dog doesn't say these things, but my sister has a new baby boy. I'm so excited for her, and my friends with kids, I hear them talk about this. But yeah, like accountability is not always something we want, but it's something that we need, right? Because what's really cool and glorious about accountability is that it allows someone to be a mirror to us. And when, like, let's say, for example, like, let's say, you know, I'm the client and you're the coach, right? And I'm like, yeah, like, I know my goal this week, I was supposed to cook, you know, Monday, Wednesday, Friday or something, but like, I'm just like, I forgot to go to the grocery store. I just like didn't make the time. I forgot. I don't know what to cook. I just didn't, right? As a coach, what are you going to say? Well, what stopped you from making the time, right? Like, why don't we plan it out for next week so you actually know what to make? Or like, what really stopped you from cooking this week? What really got in the way? What happened? What happened at work? What happened with the family? What can we do better for next week? How can we move forward from this so you don't feel like you're doomed for failure? Right? How accountability helps you move forward. Because if you're by yourself, you're way more likely to move backwards. Right? There was my friend Shelby's an accountability coach, and she was talking about this statistic, how when we are left to our own accord to do something, right, the likelihood of us doing it is like super low, you know, less than 50%, right? Especially something we don't really like doing. I think it's like 10%, right? Like, if you don't like cooking, you don't like exercising, the likelihood of you actually doing it when you have a busy life is low. But when you have accountability, it's like 95%. It's like a dramatically higher. Shelby, drop that picture in the chat here, because I forget the exact numbers. But accountability works, you guys. But what's more important about someone to check in with and someone to ask questions to, that I call this authentic accountability, right? And I talk about this in my food freedom training. Authentic accountability is super important. Like, you want someone who's gonna listen to you. So like when someone tells me that they had no time last week to cook, or they forgot about cooking, or they didn't know what to make, or they didn't work out, like I'm not the police. I'm not like, oh, you suck this week. God, like just give up now. Like, no. Or I'm not like, no excuses, do better next week. Like, no. Right? Like I listen. I want to genuinely, and my coaches were the same. We want to generally understand what happened. And what's a new game plan we can have for you so you are successful? Well, maybe cooking Monday, Wednesday, Friday is not a good plan. Maybe 4 workouts a week is not good at this point. Maybe we need 2. Maybe you're going to cook once this week. Like let's troubleshoot, right? That's authentic accountability, and that will help you have a game plan as well, right? But also, guys, it's not just about like having goals and not just about having like someone to check in with. It's someone to keep you focused on the right things. So for example, like sometimes we feel like we know the right things to do. Oh my God, like I need to be doing all this cardio, and I have to be working out 5 days a week, and I have to be eating these meals. And like you think you need to be doing all these things, where in reality, it's really not what you need to be doing. Right? Oh, I'm killing myself in the gym 6 days a week, doing all these Orange Theory classes, and I'm like leaving the gym starving and exhausted, and I just feel like crap the rest of the day. And I've been doing this for 6 months and I've gotten no results. What authentic accountability does is looks at what you're doing and says, you know what? This is not working for you. Why do we keep doing it? Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. So if you've been doing workouts for 6 months and nothing's happening, good Lord, you got to do something different. And those of you in CMW know that you don't have to do my workouts. Yes, I taught Full Body Friday. I always have fun doing it. But not everyone in CMW does my workouts. You know, some people like yoga. Some people like Orange Theory. I plan to do Orange Theory. I'm not trying to badmouth it, but you know, we're changing other things in their life, their diet, their other form of exercise, their movement in general, so they can get results from their workouts. And that's what authentic accountability is. It's a mirror, right, from an expert coming in and saying, you know what, Susie, you're doing this really well and this really well, but we have to change this and this so you can see the full package. And this is how it's going to be long term. And when you lose the weight you want, here's how you're going to maintain it and not worry about it ever again. Guys, that foresight, that focus, that foundation, the 3 F's, that is invaluable and worth every freaking penny. How much money have you spent year after year of doing different diets, different gym memberships, hiring trainers, reading books, subscribing to meal plans? How much money have you invested in these things that don't give you authentic accountability? Apps, I don't even know, protein shakes, MLMs. How much money have you spent? Yet, you're on the fence about getting accountability and paying for that. Real accountability. Someone that can look at how you're eating and how you're moving and how you're thinking about food and your cravings and tuning, you know, all the emotional eating stuff, right? And teaching you, more importantly, guys, this is my favorite part, how to hold yourself accountable. Yeah, because accountability is amazing. Right? It's so nice to have someone to talk to and someone to answer your questions and guide you and make sure that you're feeling like a winner every week, right? Even when you feel like you've failed, someone who's an authentic accountability coach or partner, whatever word you want to use, they make you feel like a winner because they're showing you that what you thought was so bad really isn't. And this happens all the time in CMW. I'll have clients say, oh God, Kristen, I had such a bad week. I'm like, really? Tell me about it. And then all I hear is win, but you still lost weight? But I thought your week was bad. What's going on? Abby, remember? Conversations. So, yeah, guys, that's why like accountability is amazing. And it's like the number, it's number 3 in terms of like what does work, right? So honesty, commitment, and accountability. And I will tell you guys something. In CMW, we obviously have all 3 of those things. And I want to be honest with you guys, like I had a call with a new client this morning, and I said this to her, and I say this to everyone I ever talk to about CMW that, applies or is considering joining. Like, we want people who are honest, and we want people who are committed, and we want people who really want authentic accountability, and they're not going to run away if things get hard or if they're struggling, because they're here for it, because their goals are non-negotiable, and having a sustainable, stress-free process is a non-negotiable, and their life is on the line. Maybe not like their actual life, but like a good life. They know they're worth it, and making these changes is worth it. Right, so what does work? Honesty, commitment, and accountability. Those are probably not the three things you were going to hear me say today, or thought you would, but that's the truth. Right? You guys, the good, the bad, and the truth. That's my main series I do here in the group. But I just tell it like it is. All right? There's not one diet that works for every person. That's why Create My Ways is called that, exactly, because every person in CMW is different. I always say we love cookies, and not everyone does. I do. We love cookies, but nothing we do is cookie cutter. Everyone is different. Some people are vegan. Some people eat all of the protein, meat. They eat, or they're pescatarian, or they're on some other way of eating. We help you eat in a way that works for you and your goals. Same with fitness. How do you like to work out? So my new client this morning, she likes to do yoga. She likes to work out outside. She lives by the beach. Awesome. Let's create a plan for you. You don't have to go on your Peloton. She doesn't even like her Peloton. It's boring. I hear you, girlfriend. Not into it, right? And that's my job for accountability, to make sure that we create a plan that she likes and that she's doing it. And if not, why? Right? That she's making time for herself. She's making time for her goals and not letting work get in the way. That's what authentic accountability does. I'm not going to let you live in the sexy excuses anymore. Okay, so if you're ready to get honest, if you're ready to get committed, and you're ready for commitment, I should say, it sounds better, and you're ready to be held accountable and to really love the accountability, be thankful for it, okay, that authentic accountability, then I think CMW is a good fit for you. We invite you to, book a call with us, createmyweight.com/apply. Because this is the real deal. I would not be here sitting with you in my living room, beat up in my workout clothes. What we have is really special. And there's a reason why the testimonies we have are so amazing and inspiring. So if you haven't checked them out, make sure you do that. But again, those are the three things that work. And you don't have to, maybe you find them somewhere else. Again, it doesn't have to be in CMW. Right? You can maybe look elsewhere. But I'm saying those are the three things you need to be successful. Stop looking at other diets. Just don't. We know they don't work. We just talked about this. What does work? I told you. Did you write it down? Hope so. Hope so. Okay. All right, you guys. I'm going to bounce off. I'm going to go hop in my challenge group here for a little Feel Good Friday. Get you guys ready for the weekend. Comment below if you're in my challenge and you've been enjoying it. I can't believe it's over almost on Sunday. So I want to thank everyone for watching. Drop your big takeaway from my talk today. If you're in the challenge group, remember you get a point as well for watching my talk today and posting your takeaway here. And make it a great weekend. Happy April 1st. I encourage you to take the first step today in a better you, because you're worth it. Me first. Okay? All right? Bye, guys. Have a good weekend.